Alright, so there are a few things more fun than getting a new guitar. Like getting 2 new guitars. Well, here's 5 reasons to not get a guitar. So the first one is don't settle. So a lot of times we have to settle for guitars that, are just available. But if you can, I recommend saving up and waiting to get the exact guitar that you want. Now that happened to me. I bought an SG a couple years ago. It was the one I could afford. It was an SG Special. By all means, a great guitar, but not really what I wanted as a guitar. So I ended up not really bonding with it, selling it, and kind of was like, yo, I don't like SGs anymore. But I was like, let's give them one more chance, and I got this one, the one I actually wanted, an SG Standard. And with that, it was so much better. I love the guitar. I play it all the time now, and it was a perfect example of don't settle. If you have to, wait a little bit longer, save up, and get the guitar you actually want. So the next one is the guitar that different? Now, I know that it's rad to have 5 different Telecasters, but are they really that different? I know that I just went through this experience. I had 2 different Les Pauls. I had a Les Paul Custom, and then I have my trusty 79 KM. And, initially I'm like, no, they're different. I convinced myself that they were different. And as time went on, I kept playing my KM, the one that I always go to, and then I kind of realized that, you know what, they weren't that different. So I sold it. I've been selling lots of guitars lately because I'm just focused on guitars with unique voices or just vibes. Like I want the guitar, just each guitar to feel totally different. When I go from the Jazzmaster, which has such a unique vibe to it, to something like a baritone or a Strat or the EVH. It has one pickup in it. It has all these different things that make it unique. And that's really what I'm focusing on nowadays. So make sure that the guitar you're getting is something that you don't already have. So the next one is, why are you buying the guitar? Now I kind of categorize people in 2 different camps. Now either you're a person who buys a guitar who is kind of like looking down the road, who is potentially going to sell the guitar, or you're just a player and you're like, hey, I'm just buying this guitar to play it. So if you are a person who likes to flip guitars, maybe you're going to sell them, the guitar market is kind of crazy. Like right now, the past year, obviously there's been this huge boom in the guitar market that kind of no one really expected to happen, but it did. So now prices are very, very high. So if you're buying stuff, you're buying it at the peak prices right now, and it's probably just going to be going down from this point. So you want to make sure that if you are a person who's going to be selling it, make sure for one you keep up with all the reverb fees, all that kind of stuff, and just make sure that you have a guitar that is going to appreciate in value. Because if you buy kind of a more no-name brand, it's not really going to go up in value if you buy something vintage. If you buy, most US guitars, they all go up in value. So just make sure that if you want to have this big goal of maybe selling it or something like that, that you really know what you're getting. Maybe you have $1 million and you just buy 59 Les Pauls on the daily. I don't know. If you have that, then that's pretty sweet. Alright, so number 4 is, do you play the guitar enough to justify having them? So this is one super guilty of myself. Again, it's a huge reason why I've been selling so much gear. It's just because I kind of like had to look around and be like, am I using all this stuff? Some things you use sparingly. I have some like real kind of like funky guitars, like the 12 string. It's like, I'm not playing those all the time. Everyone has their like core group of daily driver guitars. My Strat, my Les Paul, the Esquire, those guys I use all the time. And then there's kind of that second tier. And then there's the guitars that kind of fall in the background. And I have been like actually taking it upon myself to sell these guitars and start buying guitars that I really want. I really want a Firebird. I really want a Les Paul Jr. Just things I haven't owned that sound different. Actually, one of the guitars that I haven't sold yet, but I'm going to sell, is my Blue Tele. I've had this thing for a long time, but I was just like, you know what? I don't play it. So I'm gonna be selling it. And I think that I'm trying, like I said, from now on, I just want guitars that that just, they have that unique sound to them. And if I'm not playing them enough, I'm going to sell those and try to buy guitars that are hopefully going to take their place, and I'll play them all the time. So the final one is, did you earn it? And you're probably like, yo, I work for this money. Of course I earned it. And you did. I always like to set goals whenever I'm looking to get a new guitar. You know, whether it's I need to actually learn a piece of music, I need to practice a certain amount of time, maybe it's a weight loss goal. Who knows, whatever your goal is, it can be any of them. But I know that every time I've done this, and I've set a goal for myself, it just makes the guitar like that much sweeter, just more deserving of it or something. I mean, I got this guitar when I turned 30. You know what? I made it 30 years here. In your face, Grim Reaper. I'm still here. And I got this guitar because that was clearly worth okay, it's an excuse. You know what? You find excuses to make these goals and then you buy guitars. That's what it is. So if you don't have a good excuse, don't buy the guitar yet. So that'll be it. And like I said, you know, who doesn't like getting new guitars? New guitars are awesome. Just make sure that whatever you get is one that's going to inspire you to play maybe in a new way. Think of different ideas, you know, even like acoustic. Boom, acoustic. I was writing an outro song a second ago. I wrote this song for you. Little tune. It's called the outro. If you like that song, please like and subscribe. And I think I'm gonna boogie my way on out of here. Bye, guys. So you made it to the end of the video, telling you why you shouldn't buy guitars, while I sit here and I play the guitar.